What's up, everybody? This is GameOrNought, and tonight I'm having a look at the Critical Role minis from the Steamforged Kickstarter. They've been going out to Kickstarter backers this week, and I wanted to take a close-up look at them. There's been a lot of talk online about the quality, and even Steamforged admitted at one point that the quality wasn't really up to the standards they wanted, and they had to reforge or recast some of the minis and actually change them after the packaging had been done. So I wanted to take a close-up look at them. We're going to start with the Mighty 9 from the current season. I wanted to start with the box art. Absolutely incredible box. Feels like a bit of a waste, really, because obviously once you paint them, you're not going to keep them in the box. But I'm definitely going to find a use for the box because it's absolutely gorgeous. So you've got this incredible box art. You've got Jester there. You've got Yasha or Yosha. I've heard it pronounced a couple of different ways on the show as well. But there you go. You've got Beauregard, Caleb, Not with the little porcelain mask on, Ford, and of course Molly. So yeah, for those that aren't in the know or haven't been keeping up with it, this kind of started quite a while back when Molly was still alive. Spoilers. And so it's not Caduceus in this. It's Molly, which I'm kind of happy with because Molly's yeah, I was a big fan of Molly. And then yeah, Frumpkin down at the bottom. I don't know why. I always imagine Frumpkin to be a ginger cat. Don't know why. In my head canon, it's ginger. But anyway, it's a beautiful box. But let's have a look at the minis themselves. So we'll start with Bo. I'll bring her up close to the camera. So you can see, let's see if I can get the right. There you go. Just want the camera to focus. So you can see you've got Bo with her staff. I think it's a really good figure as well. I know a lot of people have sort of talked about the faces on these minis. I actually think that the faces are really good quality. There's one or two exceptions, and I'll talk about them when I have a look at them. But I think Bo's actually quite a good one. Although my first sort of thoughts were it looks like she's been punched a little bit. But actually, when you get into some clear light, and I think once it's been painted, it's actually going to look pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. There's some really nice details as well on the fig. I don't know if you can see there, but you've kind of got some like beading of the material down sort of her cloak, which I think is really nice. And the bow staff as well. The bow staff. No bow on the bow staff, although I suppose you can add that yourself if you want. You kind of got the trousers and the boots or the boot wraps are all there as well. That's absolutely grand. It's just a really nice little mini, actually. I think it's going to look really nice painted as well. Not really much to talk about on the back. Just a bit of a sort of nothing really, I suppose. But that's kind of the point, I guess, with a monk is not to be overly elaborate. But there you go, a nice bow model. I thought I was quite pleased with it when it came and when I opened the box. I was pretty happy with that. So there's Bo. We'll have a look at the Stinky Wizard, Caleb. Here he is. I'm just going to move my light a little bit because it's washing out the figures a little bit. There we go. See if that's a bit better. It's not a lot better, is it? All right, let's see if that's going to help us. So you can see up close we've got Caleb. Just a raggedy shirt, raggedy top. Nice sort of look to him. I think he looks a bit worse for wear, which is kind of the point, really, I guess, with Caleb. He does look a bit worse for wear. There's some really nice details on his coat, actually, as well. So if I just bring his coat up, you can kind of see you've got the sort of the rough wear holes where it's kind of worn away from him keeping it and wearing it through and not really cleaning it a lot. And the edges are pretty rough and worn as well, which is really nice. So the material itself is designed to kind of look like it has kind of been worn away. So I was really impressed with the Caleb figure itself. At this point, you can't really see any books or the book holster. I think that would have been a big thing really for Caleb to be able to see sort of the book holster sort of sticking out the side or something. That would have been a nice detail. But otherwise, it's quite a nice little mini. One point of contention that a lot of people have picked up on who have received them so far is the Frumpkin at the bottom. So in the original version, or the version that was shown on the Kickstarter updates and things, Frumpkin was, I think, a little bit more textured to sort of represent fur. Whereas this one is kind of quite bold. It is quite smooth. It's not too problematic, and actually I think once you painted it, it's not going to be a problem, but it is just a thing to notice as well. But it's nice to have Frumpkin on the base. So we'll have a look at Ford next. I think Ford actually looks really good. I think he's probably one of my favourites from the Mighty 9 set. For a couple of reasons. I don't know if you'll be able to see, just because I don't think the camera's going to be able to focus on it. But you have kind of got scars on his face, and there's little markings you can just see on his chest there, from the armour, the Mariner's armour that he wears. And it's just a really nice looking mini, actually. Surprising amount of detail for sort of what it is. On the back, flip it over, you've got the falchion, which I think is going to look really nice painted up. I think this is actually one of the models that will look really good when painted. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm just going to refocus this. Yeah, there we go. So I think that's a really nice mini. Now we'll go to Jester. Now Jester's one where I will bring her up close as well. 99% of Jester is great. Okay, 99% of Jester is great. Horns are great. There's lovely little details like a dress, cloak. It's lovely. It's a really nice dress, a really nice little mini. However, I know this is a personal opinion thing, but she's kind of got these giant hamster cheeks. There you go. Trying to show it up close. She's kind of got these giant hamster cheeks, which I don't mind too much, but it kind of doesn't look like what I think Jester looks like in my head, which I know is a really personal thing, but I didn't imagine it to be sort of hamster cheeked. And I think in also the fan art and the official art, she certainly isn't. But actually, the rest of it is really nice, and I like the tail as well, just sort of sticking out the bottom. It's a detail that's kind of easily ignored, but actually it's a really nice little tail and really nice little gear, little details, little ribbons and belts and things. I think apart from that, it's a really nice miniature, and the face thing is just a personal thing. It's just not how I imagined her. I'm going to come back to Molly later, so we'll have a look at Knot. I'll bring Knot right up close. Now Knot is one, because it's a smaller figure. I think you always have difficulties with smaller figures because you're working with a smaller area. Standard, really. But actually, I think they've done really well with Knot. And if I'm trying to bring her really close in, because you can see actually there's details on the porcelain mask that Knot wears. You can see there's lips and there is chin and sort of facial shape to it, which on a mini this small is actually really impressive. I was really pleasantly surprised by that. And some nice detail to the face, and a little sort of lock of hair, and a little watch sort of sticking out of the belt, which I think is really nice. And a little bit of sass to the way it stands as well. A bit of Sam Riegel in the stance there as well. So I was quite pleased with Knot. And you can see the crossbow. So it's just hanging it down the side there. Which I thought was really nice. Hi, Girl Painting, by the way. Hi. We'll have a look at Yasha. I don't know why I keep pronouncing it differently. This is one of the models that I'm really looking forward to painting, because I think she's just going to look really good. First off, I think the face is really nice. Just a really good look to it. And I think with the white and the black and of sort of Yasha's design, it's going to be quite a standout model once you've painted it and we put it on display, or you've got it in front of you. I'll have to check that out in a second. I can't quite see what that emote is. But it's a really nice and kind of, in a weird way, it's because she is so simple in the looks compared to some of the other characters. I think she's going to be a really nice one to paint up. Just a really stunning one to paint up. And then on the back as well. Great sword. The Magician's Judge, I guess. But certainly not the Skin Gorger. Or I think that's what the new one is called, the new one she has. But I think it's a really nice model. And again, there's some really lovely details, like the wear and tear on her cloak from surviving in Jorhas. And I think just a lovely figure. Yeah, definitely hype. There's definitely some hype there surrounding the models and the figs. And I think a lot of people were maybe a little bit worried when they got delayed, but if you haven't caught on from what I'm saying so far, I actually think they're really good figures. I'll pick up with a couple of issues in a minute in general, but actually I think the figures themselves are really good. So yeah, I was really hyped about them as well. I couldn't really wait. And then when they got here, actually they kind of had to go to the post depot because I wasn't in when they came, so I had to go and pick them up, which was an extra day of waiting. And yeah, that was agony. This is one of the figures that I thought was a really surprising inclusion. It wasn't sort of the immediate one I would have maybe picked, but that's Shikasta, or should I say Shikasta, baby. Apologies, that is the worst impression of Shikasta, but a really nice one to include as well. I think he is a proper fan favourite, and a lot of the other guests have already had figures made of them since. So Caliano had one made, and Twiggy had one made. I don't think the Furbolg guest name escapes me had one. So apologies. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But here you go. You got Shikasta, looking very thoughtful and pensive, as I imagine he would. Lovely big afro for that sort of flock of white afro. Otherwise, you got these nice leg wraps going on. The cane. A lovely cloak. No princess, or no empress. The hummingbird that comes with him, which would have been quite a nice little touch to have on his shoulder or something. Although it would have been, actually saying that, it would have been ridiculously small, wouldn't it? So ignore that. Steamforged probably know better than me when it comes to to doing that. Oh, yeah, the dwarf girl. What's her name? Keg. Keg is aroused. Yeah, Keg was a great guest. Have they done a Keg mini? I bought the Kiri mini when they did the Kiri mini. But I don't think they've done a Keg mini. They should do a Keg mini. I hope they do a Keg mini. Although I think at the moment a lot of people want Caduceus. For me, as a critter, Talison's characters have always been my favourites. And you'll see that when I show you the Percy figure. I'm so stoked about the Percy figure. But yeah, so with Molly and I'd love a Caduceus figure. But yeah, absolutely right. The Dwarf Girl Keg was a really great guest. I'd love to see Keg return. So let's have a look at Molly now. This is the one I was really excited. I would have paid the money for the Molly fig on his own. I want to bring Molly really up. I'm going to have to refocus because it's manual focus. There we go. Now, I was really excited about the Molly fig. And I'm so pleased with it. Again, it was one of the ones in the Kickstarter campaign a lot of people worried about because of having a bit of a hamster cheek. But actually, he comes across brilliant. I don't think he comes across hamster cheeked at all. I think they tried to sort of give him a little bit of a sneer and smirk. You can maybe just about make it out there. And I think they did a great job with it. Yeah, I think I'm going to be painting them, and I will try and stream me painting these. I'm going to try and use the contrast paints because I think with some of the smaller details on these, being able to just one coat them will be really useful. But yeah, painting Molly is going to be nearly impossible. I think that's going to be. I know Molly was designed to try and make cosplayers go crazy. I think it was Taliesin said that. And I think painting Molly is going to be making painters go crazy. The thing is, what I will say is there's not really any room to paint the tattoos. Obviously, the peacock on the neck, you could maybe squeeze in. I think it's going to be a case of you might just have to paint his skin and just accept the fact you're not going to be able to get the tattoos on there. With the cloak, there are a couple of the things hanging on the back, but again, there's no patterns and designs on there, and I think there's going to be a lot of painters much better than me who will be doing a fantastic job of doing the patterns and the designs, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I might have a go, but I don't know. I think I'm going to end up just coating it, doing sort of the base colour of it and shading that and highlighting that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all the little details, but this is for me. This figure's worth it on its own. I love his pantaloons. I love his thigh boots. You've kind of got the two scimitar type swords. Yeah, scimitars. Sticking out the side of his cloak. I just love his stance. I love his face. This is an incredible mini because it's obviously on a mass-produced run as well. You don't get the quality of maybe some of the limited run minis, but he looks fantastic. Yeah, I genuinely I'm so pleased with them because I was worried, I was concerned because people were, saying that they look rubbish and all this, and yeah, they're not perfect. They're not perfect, and they're not sort of like limited run minis where you're going to have incredible perfection in detail. But look at the detail. There's not like there's details lost on there. The detail's all there. And I can't see what anyone can complain about. I think the Kickstarter fee was £45. £45. I don't know what you can complain about there. Like, you could have paid £45 just for the Mighty 9 figures. There's no issues there whatsoever, I think. What I will say, and you'll see this with the Vox Machina figures as well, there are some sort of mould lines from where they've been moulded that haven't kind of been cleaned off as much as I would have liked. But actually, looking at them, I think once you've painted them, you won't be able to see the mould lines. They won't really stand out. And the ones that really do, I think, again, you're going to be able to just quickly file them down or just knock them down. But when you start to paint these things, I really think they're just going to fill out and that you're not going to be able to notice it. I really love the Molly figure. And if you can get hands-on, definitely get hands-on and have a look at the Molly fig because it is really, really good. Yeah, exactly. So I always find with mold lines, a lot of people complain about them, but then, as you've said there, girl painting, like, they're unavoidable. What you can't expect manufacturers to get every figure out of the production line and file them down. You're right. It's standard prep for painting, and I think the fact that some people are moaning about them, I think is a little bit petty. But I think one of the things I would say is I think you've got a lot of people who have bought the Critical Role minis and maybe aren't used to painting minis, and so they. I'm going to hold Molly up while I'm just talking about this, because otherwise it's just a blurry picture of a box. You're going to get a lot of people that don't normally buy minis, and they're going to buy these minis, and I think a lot of people that complain have maybe come into that category, and I'm not really sure what they're expecting. These are, in my opinion, a better quality in terms of detail than a lot of the limited run ones, apart from maybe the winged Vax. But you can see, you've got little details in terms of the material on the arms there for Molly, and there are individual fingers and things. Like, there's nothing in belt pouches and creases in the pants. I don't know what people were expecting. I think these are fantastic. I know some people said the legs were skinny. I thought, what? The legs are pretty standard for minis. I mean, if I get the Ford one again, then I'll move on to the Vox Machina one in a second. But if you look at Ford, some people were complaining about Ford having really skinny legs. Now, for me, those are pretty standard mini legs. Not, it's not soft or anything. Like, these are good quality minis. I mean, the only complaint you could make is that, Travis talks about Ford being a bit thick. There you go. You can see this. That's a better view. You can see the scar on his head now. But I think it's fantastic. I think they're great minis. The mold line things, not a problem for me. Fantastic. Right, we'll move on now. We'll have a look at the Vox Machina minis, which I think a lot of people might be really excited about. Again, I'll start with the box art because it's fantastic. Get it nice and close. So you've got Vex, Vax, Pike. No Mercy Percy. I'll talk more about him in a minute. Grog, Scanlan, Kiki, Keyleth there. Is Trinket on the box? Trinket's not on the box, but it's a great box. Again, lovely bit of box art. So now the minis. Yeah, I agree with that. They're not outstanding, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not outstanding compared to a lot of the things that are out there. But I think for what they are, I think they're brilliant. I think they're a great quality for what they are. They're great for fans. I don't know why someone would buy these if you weren't a Critical Role fan anyway. But what I was saying was, I think there's a lot of fans that'll be buying these that don't normally buy minis, and I think that's where you're going to get a bit of the people sort of complaining about certain things and that. But yeah, I agree. They're not outstanding compared to a lot of sort of smaller run minis, or minis that companies intend to run repeatedly. I know a lot of people talk about the WizKids minis and the Nozzles Marvelous Minis range, which I use a lot for my D&D. I think compared to them, actually these are, I think, better than some of those. Not all of them, and some are fantastic, but these are as good as some of those. So if you're into Critical Role, I'd definitely be checking these out if you can get one at retail. So here's my man Grog. Yeah, I think Mantic Games Minis is a good point to make, a good point of comparison, actually. So there's Grog. There he is, screaming, probably raging. Lovely sort of bit of scarring on his chest, and the beard. Of course, you must have the beard if you're going to have a Grog. And there's the Belt of Dwarven Kind, giving him the beard, which is going to look lovely painted up. That's going to look incredible painted up. Dungeon Saga. I don't know if I know the Dungeon Saga set off the top of my head. No, I'm not sure I do. Apologies. Nice big war axe. I think like a lot of minis, when you get them sort of packaged up, there's a little bit of flex in sort of the weaponry. So the axe kind of isn't dead straight, but I don't have no problem with that. But there's some nice little detailing on there. Again, that's going to look nice when you sort of painted up and highlighted it. I do love the wear and tear. Oh, okay. I'll have to look up. Dungeon Saga. I don't know that. But if it's anything like Hero Quest, then yeah, I'm going to check that out. I love the little detailing again on the materials, a bit of stitching, and like the holes in the wear and tear. I think is just really impressive. And Grog, as you expect, he's rippling. He's stunning. It's a brilliant mini. Again, look at that detail. It is a stunning mini. Again, it's one that I'm really excited. Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. If I show you the bottom, I haven't shown the bottom yet, have I? But you've got on the bottom Steamforged Games and Critical Role minis. So these are Steamforged. It was a Kickstarter for Steamforged Games, and then there's the Critical Role logo as well. And I really like Steamforged. Guild Ball I think is great quality minis. Guild Ball are great quality. God Tier when I've seen them have been pretty good quality. Oh, I like that. There's the Critical Role sort of Pride one. I really like the Critical Role Pride T-shirt as well, which I think is really good. I like the Critical Role Pride T-shirt, but I don't think that's available in the UK store. So I'd pick it up, but I don't think it's in the UK store. Might be wrong. But yeah, I'm a big critter, which is kind of why I backed this really. And I like Steamforged Games, and they do good minis. The Dark Souls board game that I have and I've painted up. I love the Dark Souls board game. I think it's a great board game, and the minis are great. So that's Grog, popping back in his box. You can stop raging now. What, you own the Dark Souls game? I own that. You own the Dark Souls game. It's great. And now we'll have a look at Kiki. I think one I was kind of interested in seeing because she's very detailed in terms of her outfit. I think there's a very clear idea of the sort of thing Kiki wears. By the way, I keep saying Kiki. I'm talking about Keyleth. If you know Critical, I'm talking about Keyleth. But if I can try and get a good view, her sort of a head antler piece is really nicely done. Her armor. There's some lovely the cloak rather than the armor. Sorry, the cloak's got some lovely sort of patterning to it to give it that sort of leafy druidy texture, which actually I don't think I've seen that on any other mini, which I think is fantastic. I love that. And nice hair effects as well. Nice hair effects. That's nice. That's awesome. I didn't know there was a Keyleth emote. I should really check out the emotes keyboard more, shouldn't I really? Kiki. We want a Keyfish mini, really. That's the next natural progression. But yeah, again, just really nice and really dramatic. But up close, lovely detailing. The face is going to be a nightmare to paint on this one, but oh well. Then we'll go to Sam Riegel, the original Sam Riegel. Scanlan needs to be up close, doesn't he? Scanlan Shortholt. So there we go, getting a bit of definition. I always felt one of my concerns with the set was going to be Scanlan and Pike because they are small, a bit like Knot. But again, Steamforged managed to get a good amount of detail into Scanlan. Again, the pantaloons, lovely sort of material texturing to them. And there's a little mold line. Some nice texturing to his sort of his top. Again, the face, you could argue, could have a bit more detail to it, but I think that's being so picky that it seems really cruel to even point that out for a mass-produced mini. And if I flip him over, his singing sword and the lute, and his flute in his hand, and it's lovely. Yeah, I think I don't know really what else sort of a facial expression for Scanlan was always going to be a bit difficult. I think my lighting isn't helping with some sort of part of it. One thing I will say is there's a slight crack just on his neck, which is obviously where I think it's been fitted together. It's not going to be noticeable once you paint it, but it is there. I might end up liquid green stuffing it if I can do that. But yeah, the Joker grin is a bit horrifying. I think it's yeah, I think that's fair. That's a good point. I'm trying to give them a bit of leeway, but yeah, I think there is a bit of a problem with the size of his mouth. Although, let's be fair, Scanlan was often said more than he was big-mouthed. I didn't know it meant it literally. So we'll have a look now at Vax. Dagger. In a weird way, kind of not one I was really too overexcited by, because I think what made Vax really a great character was his personality, not his looks. You know, he wasn't like one way you thought, oh, that's going to be a really cool mini. Dagger emote. But yeah, you know, it is a good mini, I think. The face is actually really clear on this one. I'll give him credit for that. And then you can see the daggers. Not much to say about the mini apart from, yeah, it's a really nice little mini. Again, you got the texturing on the pants and the boots, which is lovely. And again, lovely weathering effects on the cloak. You know, the edges do look ragged and the holes are there. And there's some nice little detailing up on it as well. So I look forward to getting him painted up. Again, I think it's going to be one of the ways a bit more simplistic to paint, so it's going to be quite a nice, fun paint job to do, without too much concern and intricacy. It's going to be a nice one to paint, I think. It'll look good once it's painted. I'm going to come back to Percy, because I want to go through Percy up close. Let's have a look at Pike. So here's Pike. There we go, nice view of her face. You know, little sort of plate mail that she wears is nice. A little bit of cloth sort of sticking at the bottom is quite nicely done. Nicely realised. There's going to be some nice highlighting and layering opportunities there. The face is kind of smooth, like baby smooth, which I guess kind of makes sense for Pike. I suppose that makes sense. You've got the mace. I'll roll her over. They did a nice job to try and like get the material, so the cape cloak type thing floating, and they did that by kind of attaching it to the mace, which again, not a problem for me. That's absolutely fine. You see that in so many different minis that you get that sort of thing. There we go. Trying to just get a good view on her. Nice materials again. The only thing I would say with the Pike one is she's, I think, supposed to be holding up her symbol to Sarenrae, and that one's kind of lost a little bit of definition in the casting process, and the thing is just a little bit too intricate. Like, you can see she's got fingers. She has got individual fingers, but they're going to be an absolute nightmare to try and pick out. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that one, but I'll figure it out. Then we'll go to Vex. Here she's. I think this is a lovely. I mean, I think Vex here is actually just a really good mini for Half-Elf Ranger. It's just a great mini for Half-Elf Ranger. And this is the thing, I think, with the Critical Role minis. While I can't see why you'd buy them if you weren't a fan, the only thing I would say is that they do make great sort of archetype minis. So yeah, you know, great. I mean, again, look at the detail on these, on sort of sternum there, a chest. You can see the material is textured. It's not just a base material. And there's a belt, and there's even creases and texturing to the boots and the leggings. And there's some really nice attempts to sort of texture the bow as well. Hunter's Mark. There's the cloak. Some great cloak work from Steamforged. Nice quiver. Just a really nice mini. Not flash. Just a nice mini. We'll have a look at Trinket. Have a look at Trinket. While I'm just showing Trinket, just don't forget to let me know your favourite either Vox Machina or Mighty Nine character. Who, if you're thinking about picking up, who would you be looking forward to painting up? Here's Trinket in his little armour. Just a nice bear mini. I mean, you're not going to be able to use it, generally speaking, because it's got armour on. Yeah, your favourite character. Who's your favourite character? If you're a critter. Either Season 1 or Season 2. Or both. Campaign 1 or Campaign 2. And there's the logo. Can we get it? There you go. Nice logo there on the armour. And it's just a nice bear mini. Like, I can't say much more about it than it is a nice bear mini. And I look forward to painting it up. And then lastly, my favourite character from Season 1, Percival. Let's bring him up close. Here's why I'm loving this mini. First off, the goggles. Yep, thank you very much. The goggle glasses. Loving it. Cravat. And trying to get the detailing clear. There's little detailing on the cloak and the outfit, which is just brilliant. Love it. Pistol on his hip. Pistol. The pepper box. Pepper box in his hand. There we go. Just a really dramatic. I'll refocus it in a minute to show you the whole mini, because it's just a really dramatic mini. And then bad news along the back there. I just think the minis are fantastic for Talison's characters. I'm really looking forward to seeing a Caduceus one. So Percy's definitely my... Oh, your favourite character is not a regular. So who would be your favourite character from Series 1? Mine is Percy, if we're talking about regulars. Mine is definitely Percy. I just think some of the interactions he has, some of the moments, I think his story arc is probably the better arc of the characters. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic mini. Again, a little bit of detail, a nice clear face. And it really captures who I think Percy is, and it's a really. I'm going to refocus. Apologies, while I manually refocus because my camera doesn't automatically refocus. But it's just a really dramatic mini. Just a really nice pose of him taking a step forward. Really dramatic. I love it. So that's Vox Machina. Again, you know, nothing sensational. You know, it's not going to all of a sudden change your life, but I think they're incredible. I think they're great for fans, and I think they are just really nice archetype minis to have. So then we've also got some Kickstarter exclusives. So we'll start with these. You get from Series 2, you get everybody's I'm going to say now second favourite Furbolg, Enchanter Pumat Soul. If I can get him into focus. Can I get him into focus? Yeah, there you go. I am really impressed with this mini up close. The face is fantastic. For a mass-produced mini like this. Lovely detail on the beard, lovely detail on the face, and lovely detail on his clothing. If I can get it right, you can kind of see the stitch work, the hem work, the edge work of the clothing, the creases, the pouch, the belt pouch. You know, he's not like a standout mini, but just for a nice little extra for backing it on Kickstarter, it's a lovely little mini. Zara Hydris. An obscure choice. I had to browse. That's how obscure. I had to browse the critical wiki. I'll allow it. I'm not like some scholar on Critical Role. I'm just a big fan. And then you also get, with the Kickstarter set, you get some Pumat Souls simulacrums. The copies of him. So you get Pumat Prime, which you just looked at, and then there's the Pumat Souls, which you get 3 of those. Which is kind of, I get the joke of it, really, that you're getting the same mini 4 times. I don't know if I'm going to paint him 4 times though. At least they've kept the Pumat Soul copies. It's quite a simplistic model, so it's not going to be too problematic to paint 3 of them. Sorry, but yeah. Quite nice. Then we've got from season 1 or campaign 1. We've got Dodie, the robotic servant of Tarion Darrington. There you go. His head is 100%. It is Symmetra. It is Symmetra's head from Overwatch. But then I suppose it's a generic robot head. What are you gonna do? With the book, of course, taking down Tarion's adventures. Can we get... There you go. And again, nice detailing. A nice cog elbow there. Just a really solid, nice mini. Like cogs there in the sort of the top of the legs. The face has got the marking outs on it. And then backpack on the back, of course, carrying Tarion's stuff for him. Tarion Darrington can carry his own things. Again, it's going to be quite a simplistic one to paint that. Obviously, because it's sort of a metallic shell. But again, quite a nice one. Again, you can sort of see, if I can bring the edging up. You've kind of got a bit of mould work. You probably just need to work off there. That's not a problem. And then finally, you've got Tarion himself. There he is. Lovely, smug look to his face. Can't quite get the line right for you, unfortunately, but it doesn't look too bad. The Helm of Brilliance. There, again, you can see they've kind of put where the gems and things would be, but at this scale, that was always going to be a real challenge to try and get off and get to work effectively. But I think if you've got some paint skill, you'll be able to do it. So chainmail, again, nice armor detail on the pouches and the designs. He's going to look fun once he's all done up, I think. Again, he's going to make a nice sort of archetype model for people that aren't interested in Critical Role, and for these that are, he's going to make a nice little note for Tarion Darrington, the booster gold of Critical Role, I like to imagine him as. But there you go. So that is the minis. Though that's the minis, the full set. Is there any minis that people want to look at again, or want me to have a look at? Because I can grab them again if there's any particular ones, or if there's any questions you have in the chat about the minis, then I'll feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer them. I think my two favourite probably are Molly and Percy. I just think that they have a real sense of drama to them. Molly's one just has this real sense of, like, I think a great attitude, and I think that Molly has a sense of drama to him, and I think Percy has a sense of drama to him as well. So I was really pleased with those, both those minis. Although, like I said, they're all really good for me, and I can't see why anyone would complain about any of those minis. Again, I think for me, the Mighty 9 minis are probably better minis, but I think that's just an opinion. There's no real problem with either of them. So that is the minis. I wanted to just take the time today just to go through them and have a look up close, because I haven't really seen people doing that, so I wanted to get that done for you. What I'm going to hope to do is, once I start to paint them, I'll try and Twitch stream that, or at least video it, and then people can have a look at it. But for now, that is going to be it. If you have found this at all useful, then please, it would be incredibly helpful to either donate or tip through the Streamlabs link that you'll be able to see on our Twitch panels just below the stream. It'd be really useful. Anything would be really useful there, whether you're watching it now or watching it on demand or on the YouTube upload that I'll do. No problem, not a problem showing it. You know, like I said, I wanted to show them off because there doesn't seem to be a lot of it online. For some reason, people aren't really showing them. I've seen one or two pictures and things, but nothing really too clear. I'm just going to put this up. Put that there. So I would say that if you're interested in minis and you can find a retailer selling a copy and you're happy to pay that price, then definitely pick them up. If you're interested at all in Critical Role, I think they're really nice, and I think a good painter, or even an okay painter, can make a really good job of them. But yeah, just before I go, just a reminder, if you can at all, it would be really useful for anyone who's watching this live on demand on YouTube. If you want to click on the Streamlabs link, then you can donate, and that'll help GameOrNought grow and help us to do more. Maybe get us an auto-focusing camera so that I don't have to manually focus it, which I always find a pain for minis. It's also any tips for streaming minis, painting or whatever would be brilliant. But whether it's £1, £5, whatever, anything is incredibly useful. If you don't want to donate, that's absolutely grand. Thank you very much for watching anyway. That is hugely appreciated. You are being a massive part of helping GameOrNought grow and helping us to show more off and be a bigger part for this community, both Critical Role, minis, board gaming at all. We just want to be a big part of that community, and you're helping just by watching. So thank you very much for that. And on that note, that'll be the end of our stream. This has been Alan Jones for GameOrNought, looking at the Critical Role minis from the Steamforged Kickstarter, and I'll be back soon, next week or two, with some other things that we'll be streaming, looking at other board games and tabletop games. I'm currently painting up the Dungeon of the Mad Mage board game set, so I'll be hoping to show off some of those minis once they're fully painted. Once again, thank you very much, and good night.